Order! For everyone here for this Red House Parliament debate for the second week running, we are here to discuss about the food banks here for the low poverty and also the homeless Republicans in the nation. And I'll start things first with President Scott Drake. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think it's a great opportunity for the people in low poverty, the homeless, to get into the food banks for this Christmas. Christmas is about togetherness. Christmas is about us celebrating the best time of the year. And it feels as I am your president of this nation that we will be invested into the food banks and more money will go into it for those homeless people across the nation, especially here in the capital city of Georgetown. And I think that idea as a president should be a rule, to be a duty for us to provide and look after them, to make them be inclusive for this holiday season of Christmas. And now the opposition leader, Mr. Drew Gulak. Thank you, Speaker. I think that is a great idea on the opposition on saying about investing in the food banks and the homeless for Christmas. And what about the investment into the homes across the nation? Insulate the whole nation of electricity, gas bills, everything that any working class Republican has to pay for. And do you think, Thomas, that all that money going to the food banks, all that tax money is going towards it, that affects also on the working class people who want to have a great Christmas and enjoy their Christmas with no worries on bills to pay and also gas and electric to pay of the whole expense of the house of living crisis? And can you think about those people rather than focusing on here on the food banks and the homelessness? Thank you very much there, Drew Gulak. And now President Scott Drake respond to Mr. Gulak's comments here in the opposition. Mr. Gulak, you are completely wrong. Because the people who are actually spending time with their families, the working class Republicans, they are going to have a good Christmas anyways. And for your claim, Drew, that is all rubbish on your mouth. Because the people, the Republican people, have got a lot of money in the working class. And alright, their taxes might be invested away from their bills, from their house to pay and everything and that. But you are talking complete rubbish. They are in the best position. We are investing into those people with mental health issues. And also investing into the food banks. And also investing into those homeless people. And the vulnerable in our Republican society, they deserve also the credit also for Christmas. Because Christmas is about togetherness, and togetherness, we don't want to leave people out. And I think you're in the wrong on what you just said right there in this Parliament meeting. And now, Mr. Gulak, your turn now to express your words to the President of this nation. Mr. President, you can say anything you like about what I've said right there, but clearly your main priority is to take money off the working class people, taking money away from them what is not necessary, because you want to invest into those people. We understand they are very vulnerable into our society. I understand that we need to be inclusive as a nation in terms of everyone having a great Christmas like everybody else. But at the same time, I think you've invested so much money to take away from those working class people and invest it into silly little things, like for example right there on the homeless shelters and also the food banks for Christmas for the low poverty people. Because I think that, in my opinion, that we should actually cut a little bit from what you just said about investment in the homeless from last week. Thank you very much there, Gulak. And now back to the President here, Scott Drake, to respond on Mr. Gulak's comments right there in the Parliament. Mr. Gulak, I'm not going to be told by your party and your opposition how much we spend on the homeless and the food banks and the shelters for those homeless people. We might have discussed that of last week about what happened in terms of the food banks and the homelessness, but this week here it will stand what I said. we're going to invest up to $12,000 million investment into the homeless and the food banks and also all the shelters for Christmas. Because everybody, and I mean everybody, deserves the best Christmas, and also for the low poverty and also for the working class people as well. But they earn the money, they contribute to our nation, and that's why we have to do what we have to do to give everyone the best Christmas as possible. And I know, Gulak, you might be jealous of what I say, as you are the man, want to be the president in the future, but at the same time, that is the case, that I have decided that we are going to keep it as it is, that we are going to put the vulnerable first, the homeless people first, the low poverty first, and all those people I've said comes first. And you, Gulak, are the selfish one here in this parliament, and that is what I have to say right here, right now, to finish this parliament debate. And thank you, Speaker. That's all I have to say right now about the matter. Thank you, President Drake. And that's all here for the Christmas Food Bank here debate. And thank you all for being here, and thank you all for attending here, our last Parliament meeting before Christmas, and have a good one for all here at attendance in the Red House. And a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and enjoy your families during the Christmas break to all of the two parties of this government here for this afternoon. And now you all can be dismissed in the Parliament.